would have had 10 guys on lockdown, one paying the rent, and he ain't seen no coochie, I'll tell you that for free. The other one paying the electricity bill, and then I'll have the real boyfriend and tell him, listen, understand this, you get 30% of everything.
Or you could just get a job.
We sat there, and all I just wanted to do was just shut up and look pretty. Because if you average, perhaps don't meet a certain threshold, then
you have to come with some money.
You have to not necessarily come with. You are silly. Not necessarily come with money. Because your money, no matter how much, let me see something.
Oh, we're live. We're live. All right.
So, hey guys.
Hello.
This is Janaire. This is my friend Toni. We are lawyer versus doctor.
Yes.
And with Toni, she has
a guest host today. Voila. This is Toni. I'm Egboni.
Hi guys.
He's gonna give us some of the male, the Y chromosome input today. Voila, Vanna White.
Voila.
I don't think you guys want to hear my perspective.
Oh Lord, have mercy. We might have a lot of religious overtones today, guys, and a lot of hyper masculine alpha male input today.
No.
I'm kidding.
It will be PG.
It will be PG. We're giving it PG.
Okay. So we're talking about guess who's paying for dinner. I feel like we all are gonna have the same perspective.
I think the three of us are gonna actually have three different, very, very different perspectives, which is what I think
really
is so interesting. Yeah. So, guess who's paying for dinner is the title of the podcast today. And
though, can I ask on first dates you're talking about, or
so let's characterize the problem. That's how we usually start in medicine. We characterize the problem. So, we are talking about. We're going to go through all the gamuts of phases in which you are dating. So let's characterize it by who's paying for the first date. And then we're going to transition to you guys have been on a couple dates, who then starts to pay for the dates. And then we can fast forward to you guys have established a relationship. So now your boyfriend, girlfriend, you're going steady. Who's paying for the dates? So I'm assuming you're still going on dates. And then when you're engaged and married, we can talk about that, even though I think... I don't know. Does dating still happen in engagements and
yes.
Yes. Okay, fine. Okay, so we'll discuss it in the context of that.
My friend just got engaged yesterday, so it still happens.
It does, and they're going on dates.
Yeah, you should be dating forever.
Okay, so dating forever.
For as long as you're together, you should be dating.
Okay. All right. So, I'll start. So I think that on a first date, the expectation is that the man is going to pay, especially the man asks me out. That is my expectation for first date. What is your expectation for first date?
On the first date?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on the first date, I believe men should pay and make the effort, but this is contingent upon
here we go
the circumstances, and there's varying circumstances. And I mean, I'm just I'm being fair with my answers here. Firstly, if you're on a dating site, I don't know that you are obligated as a man, speaking from a male perspective, that a man should necessarily have to pay for a date to meet someone for the first date. I think there are better ways about qualifying who's deserving of that kind of treatment. You need to save some of the date treatments that you're going to give the right person who's deserving of your time and for that follow-up, by first qualifying whether you even whether you're even fit enough to be in my world, or if not necessarily fit, to lack of a better word, whether you are the right chemistry for me to continue on a second date, where I can say, all right, well, yeah, she's solid.
So what do you
see potentials. But if you're doing it from the dating app, I mean, I've spoken to several girls on the dating app, and I've been on a dating app before, where a lot of women, as far as high as 70% of the people, female, on the dating app are not really serious. They're not serious daters. They are there for the free meals. So I guess from a man's perspective, if you have to go and meet someone and they're running up a $200-300 tab on you every time you just get to, just to meet them for the first day, before long you start you start looking at that credit card just go way out of proportion. And imagine you meet someone and you're not, you know for a fact within 2 minutes of meeting them you're never going to see them again. I mean,
So how do you qualify them?
you have to.
That was going to be
You have,
my question.
I
Yeah.
think the way you qualify them is by having a whole bunch of conversations before you even meet on that date or the first date, whatever you want to call it. I know some people use whatever they call it, coffee shops, and
Oh
just
Lord,
meeting
the
meeting.
infamous, the notorious coffee date has entered the chat.
No, they meet in a park. You can go for a walk. It doesn't have to just necessarily just be sit down and eat. Um, that becomes a little too informal. I think the conversation you have and the quality of who the person you're trying to date, you can infer by the conversations you have, and then you can say whether this person is really worthy of a date or not. But I think
Okay,
So,
so,
I think
question
you
for
definitely.
you.
so hold on, Jenner, hold on. So you're saying that you have conversations with this person and you decide if you put them into one or two boxes, the coffee date box, or they get a proper date.
Absolutely.
Wow.
But with that being
Wow.
said, you
So that
still
means I should be automatically insulted if I'm in the dating world and somebody asks me out to coffee.
not necessarily, because the thing is it's just that the communication level that you guys have had may have not been sufficient enough to put you into the date just
So,
yet.
question for you. So, the kind of woman you want to date, do you think other men want to date her as well?
I don't look at it like that. I
No,
think,
it's a yes or no question.
well, I mean, I can give you a no question, and I can give you a yes question, but it doesn't really answer your question. It's a
No,
matter of.
well, it would answer my question because I'm looking for a yes or a no.
So what you're saying is that the kind of woman that I would like to date has to be desired by other men. Is that your?
No, I'm asking you because if it's, you know what your type is, I don't know what your type is. So you may be interested in a set of qualities that other men may not be interested in. So before I take the next step to
Ask
make
the
an
follow-up question.
assumption about the type of woman, I'm asking you if that's your opinion. If the type of woman you like, other men like that type of woman, or are you into like a very specific?
Niche of woman.
Yeah.
It's a tricky question because what I like may not necessarily be. They say one man's food is another man's poison, right? I can't speak for them. I can just vouch for me. I have parameters of what I define in a woman that I feel okay is worthy of my time, and I will see you again, sort of thing.
What are those? What are those? Like very, very briefly though.
I'm big on intelligence. Um, I do like women who take pride in taking care of themselves, and I like a woman who's really comfortable with being a woman. I mean, I know in this modern times, you have different people having different perspective of what the role of a woman is or how they define a woman. But I think keeping it simple. I mean, I still believe in the old traditional perspective, so to speak. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. And for me, what I look for in a woman is she agreeable? Is she feminine? Does she take pride in being a woman?
So it sounds like you like the same type of woman that pretty much
Every man wants.
every man wants.
And above all, a woman that will respect me. That's
Right.
I think.
So if you're looking for that type of woman, I mean, my guess in my head is every man wants that type of woman.
Okay.
So if you're offering to take her on a coffee date, there are definitely men who are offering her dinner dates and better quality of dates. So why would, it seems like you would be shooting yourself in the foot, making yourself non-competitive or make yourself seem not serious.
Well, here's the thing. Is that I am one who believes what's for you is for you. God don't make mistakes. I mean, there's times when you can meet someone, like the old days, you could just meet someone, not even on a coffee date per se. You could be at an event and you meet someone and you guys will click. And even though you're not on a date per se, it becomes like you've been on a date and you guys just establish chemistry. You look, you see, you talk about things that you guys both have in common. And the very next time you guys meet, you are going on a date. You're literally just falling for that person. But however, the problem with that is that there are some people who are a little bit more conservative in the first time you meet them. So they may not necessarily show you all their cards of what they're really about, you know? So I think you just have to have, continuous conversations to sort of peel those onions back and see what's in the inner core of that person. And if you can establish that you and this person have a sense of commonalities, which you guys can build on, then you go on a date and then you build on that. You know, I
Then
think.
my last day, man, not try to spend no money. That's all. The end.
But see, I don't see it that way.
You don't see it that way.
With
Okay.
me,
It's not that we don't want to
so
spend
it's
money.
a lot.
Spend
Okay,
money to the
so
right
I'm not
person.
on any dating apps.
Okay.
But I live in a big city where there's
a plethora of people.
Men everywhere. Every time I walk out of my house, I'm guaranteed to meet somebody.
Right.
So if I go out of my house and say in the week, 4 guys, I'm in the supermarket, 1 guy approaches me, I'm at this event, somebody approaches me. Say at the end of the week, I give my number to 4 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are going to be like, I'm probably going to give them my Instagram because I don't know them.
Right.
But like some of them are going to be, or one of them will probably be just sending me like random, like what you doing all day.
Right.
Another one might be like just like watching my stories and just liking stuff and not really saying anything. Another one might be like, hey, do you want to come hang out by my pool, or do you want to come? And then another one is going to be like, hey, like I'd like to take you out for dinner on Friday at this place or whatever.
Right.
The one who's asking me to come hang out or go on a coffee date, there's no way I'm responding to him. Because this is 4 guys in 1 week.
Right.
But in all of the weeks, like
it stacks up. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the space of a month, say I meet 16 guys and 4 of them are taking me on dates. The coffee date guy is not even getting a text back.
Coffee date guy not getting no play.
No, the coffee date guy, I'm probably gonna unfollow him after the second week because I'm like, you're just like clogging up my DMs.
Okay. Let's put it like this: if I was one of those guys who, in your 16 guys that you met in that month, the first thing I'm going to say to you is, okay, hey, let me see substantively a conversation with you what you're about. You know, I'm not going to agree to just go on a date with you just simply because you have 16 other guys. I'm an individual, and the way I look at it, not to sound cocky, is if I'm taking you out on a date and I choose you, just like you have tons of options, I have a million more. You know, I'm a guy. I know I'm a good looking guy. I'm in shape. I'm well educated. I'm in a good position in life. You know, it's just like I choose you. A woman doesn't choose a man. A man chooses the woman. But it's relative. Everybody has their own perspective to it. So I'm not looking at all those other 16 guys. If we have conversation prior to this, if we've met and we're going to talk on the phone, right? We're going to have some conversation and talk about what your beliefs are. You know, when I first met her, we didn't just arrange a date straight away. We were talking for like 2-3 weeks before we met. So on the basis of the fact that we had enough data and we talked literally every day, then that surpassed. It's gone beyond coffee date.
Coffee personal. You can't. So
I understand. I get it.
If he had offered me a coffee date, I'd have been like, this man playing with my life.
I understand. So I get that. And I guess I think the thing is, I've heard somebody say something about like the people at the top never, like the hottest girl
and the hottest guy never match.
Yeah. Because if both of us are thinking, like if you're thinking, oh yeah, she's just one girl and I got a million more. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, 16 guys are DMing me. I can't go on 16 dates and have 16 phone calls. I'm going to pick the one who's making the most effort. Correct. That's who I'm going to go out with. then it's just never gonna happen.
It's never
and
gonna
that's
happen.
So
okay. Like that's not.
here's the problem though with
There's
this.
nothing wrong with that.
But here's the problem though. The ones that are so ready quick to throw these, gestures to you instantly are usually the ones 95% of the times are not necessarily genuine. They're just
That's
looking for
not
something else.
true.
In
That's
some
not true.
cases, I'm telling you, like I'll speak to women.
That's
And
not
Is
true.
that
That's
considered
not what
love
I
bombing?
find.
Is
Huh?
that love bombing?
listen, I hear what you're
No,
saying.
because to me, it can be love bombing. It can be love bombing, but I'm just talking about just asking a woman out on a date. I feel like as a man, to me, especially the type of man I like, is like he's decisive. He sees me and he's like, "Oh yeah, you go on my Instagram, you see what I do, you see what my life is like, you see my lifestyle, and you can decide for yourself if this is a good fit for you, if this is what you're looking for."
You know what
And
you said.
if you can't decide that, based on the information you already have, then I'm probably not the type of woman you like anyway.
But you see, you just mentioned something very pivotal there. You said that they go on your Instagram, so they've already inferred. They've drawn information from what they see on Instagram. They see, okay, she's not some whatever they call it, Instagram chick, Instagram model, or only fan page, yada yada yada. And they're like, okay, she's a lady. With that, you have information to say, oh, I will take her out on a date. It's not a coffee thing. But if you're just saying a fleeting moment in passing, you
I
just
see
talk,
her. She's pretty. Let's take
she's
her on a date.
pretty, and you just take her on a date. No, I don't think you got to be more than pretty. I have to speak to you. I have to have a conversation with you because me sitting down there, it's not even about the money. Life is too short. I'm going to spend what 2 hours talking to you over dinner just to realize, damn, she's an nincompoop. And you see the way she talks to people or the way she's. I've had it happen to me. Pretty girl. I will give her an 8, like a whatever they call her. What's the name of Nicole Murphy? A younger version of Nicole Murphy type. She's tall, she's beautiful, banging body. We sat there, and all I just wanted to do was just shut up and look pretty. Because I'm just looking at my time like, damn, I could be out here
Dang,
in the
that's
gym,
cool.
be working out, what in a French toast, and I'm there looking at her while she's just eating up, eating, running up my tab. For
That's
what?
cold.
All I was thinking was, how do I escape? Let me
Oh,
pretend.
he
Let me.
notorious for the escapes, honey.
Oh yeah, I've been on dates where
Oh
I've seen them like,
He suddenly developed a limp.
who
He
who who raised you? I'll be like, hey, I'll be right back. My stomach hurts.
he pretended to
Let's
go back to his car for
let me
his
give you
keys.
let me give you
no!
Honey,
let
he
me give
one
you
of
an
those
example.
girl. He left so many people standing in
Let
the
me give you an
rain.
example. So I remember one time I went on a date with this girl for the first time. Okay, we had spoken on on online, whatever the case was. I get to the date, and her mother's with her. Okay, I got there on time. They went there. They were there 15 minutes earlier. By the time I arrived, these guys had a full spread. They were already eaten. So I was like, I pimped the plate. I was like, you know what? Hi, just give me a glass of water. Like the audacity. You got your mum with you, right? To start with. She didn't warn me that she had her mum with her.
Where did you meet this woman? Where are you meeting these people?
Instagram. Just like you women, we have women who will DM you and all that good stuff. And I thought she was okay. We had a good conversation. However, on the day, she was with her mom. And I just think that was way too soon for me to meet your mom to start with, which is cool. Anyway, this is what I decided. I thought in the moment, I played along with it and I sat down and I was like, oh, I'm not even when they brought the menu, I was like, I'm not really hungry. I just came from a conference and it was food and everything, but ordered a glass of water because all that told me, my instincts were telling me this is someone who is just looking for a free meal. It's just the way it is. I mean, so in that instance, when the check came, I said to myself, I have to teach these people a lesson. They came, the check comes, the check was like a baby. It wasn't even a lot of money, like about $130 or something like that. The check comes, they put it on the table next to her, she pushes it to me. and I push it right back to her. I was like,
I have weakness.
and she said to me, are you not going to be a gentleman? I said, I'm a gentleman that I've even sat here to watch you guys eat, and I haven't left yet. You know, I said, you and your mom can afford this one. Listen, you see them rifling through their
Why not just
purse.
leave? Why not just leave? Why stay?
I mean, hey, this is the thing because I was trying not to be rude. Do you understand? They're rifling through their, and I remember that day. I had quite a lot of money on me that day, and it wouldn't have cost me anything. But they were rifling through their purses, trying to look for the money, and trying to put it together. And obviously, you could see her face just turn bright red. Now the problem is this, right? Should I have paid for it? I could have, but if I had paid for that, even if I had just won $1 billion, I would have gone home looking like a mug. Like, damn, you must have taken me for an idiot. It's exactly how my thought process would have been. I just gave friggin' an hour and a half, wasted an hour and a half with these fools. You know, there's no etiquette here. Who raised you is the question. And that's what just kept on spinning.
You saw who raised her. She was eating too.
So the point is,
She was present at the meal.
the point is, just because you're pretty, shouldn't guarantee you bad behavior. I know there's this thing called pretty privilege, whatever. Not with me. I mean, it just depends. If you feel that you get away with that and that's how you live, well, good luck. I wish you all the best. For me, I don't have to look at you and say, "Oh my God, you are so fine," this, that, and the third, and think that that's the end. I have to just lose any sort of like principles that I have, or you can just take me for a fool. So that's the problem a lot of us men have. It's so easy for women not to consider our perspective because I understand, we are expected to be the providers, whatever but the thing gets old after a while. And
okay, so we didn't get past the first date.
We did not.
So we need to move to
Past
the first date. We've established that the guy pays for the first date.
Correct.
Unless, of course, you brought your mom.
Don't bring your mother, please.
Don't bring your mom or your friend.
Unless you brought your mom to the date, then
we'll pay for it unless your mother is there. Understood.
Right.
Don't bring your mother at the date's on me.
I don't think either of us are bringing our moms with us. No.
You won't be there.
I can't even blame women. If I was a woman and I wanted
to try to run the game,
my game would have been even better than what you guys are. I would have had 10 guys on lockdown, one paying the rent, and he ain't seen no coochie, I'll tell you that for free. The other one paying the electricity bill, and I just keep moving them like deck of cards like this. I mean, if you really want to play it, and then I'll have the real boyfriend and tell him, listen, understand this, you get 30% of everything.
Or you could just get a job. That sounds exhausting. Do you know how exhausting men are?
Go get a day job.
Yeah, but
seriously, it's easier to pay your own bills than to
so much easier than to try to run.
Like, come on.
Listen,
you need a secretary to do that.
Let me give you an example.
Do you know how exhausting one man is?
Listen, I'm sitting beside this one. I'm already a sweat.
Listen, I had a friend who was in the military.
Okay, wait. We have to stay on track. We're almost like half hour in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was trying to
we talked about the first date. What was next?
If you start dating. No,
yes.
if you've gone on multiple dates.
Yes,
and you are
multiple dates. Let's talk about it.
So my turn to go first again?
Yes.
Okay, so my expectation is if I'm going on multiple dates with this person, let's put a number on it so it's finite. So let's say we've gone on 10 dates. My expectation within that 10-date period is that, and I'm a modern woman, and I know Janira is already pulling her chin on this. I'm okay with us. Like, I pay for a date if I ask you out. You pay for the date if you ask yourself out, or come up with some system in place so that we're each bearing the burden of dating. My expectation is not that the man will continue to pay for all of the dates till thy kingdom come. But that's also because I have money. So I don't have to depend on a man to pay for all of the meals that exist between us, right? Because again, I am not here to eat. I'm here to get to know you. So I'm willing to, if a part of the burden of dating is financial, I'm willing to put in to show that I'm also interested and I'm
See,
also
I guess I don't think of that as a burden. Cause I have money, but he have money too, and whatever money we're spending on the dates, I don't think of it as a burden.
Hey.
What do you
For
mean?
who at least for who I'm dating, like
Okay.
however money we're spending on food is not a burden to me.
Mm.
So that's why he must pay for it because it's not a burden.
No,
Also, you know something, right? You see this.
Yo, my dog, you wild. You
so to
wild.
me,
It's not a
like
burden, honey. Lift it up. Lift up this 2,000-ton car, babe. It's not a burden.
All I can say is this,
She
right?
said it's
to
not.
me,
That ain't no
it's
burden. It's
like
not a burden.
if
It
it's a
depends on. Okay,
burden
it
for
depends on
you
also.
to take me out and like do something nice for me and like pay for a meal. If that is a burden, we shouldn't be dating.
Damn.
If that's a burden for me to like dress up and look nice and we're going to this nice place and like if
Okay,
that's a burden,
let me ask you a
like I
question.
should be on a date with somebody who doesn't find that to be a burden.
So we're talking
But
about.
and at the same time, like I understand the idea of like things being equal and reciprocity and stuff like that. I do agree with that. I don't think the man needs. Ooh, I see a finger. What happened? Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to cut off a call. My bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's like, oh, I'm the queen, I am the prize, and you bow down to me and you do everything. I think that a woman has to give a lot too in the relationship. But paying
Like what?
to me, huh?
Like what? When you say they need to give a lot.
You want to go there?
No, give me an example. I mean, you put it out there. I'm just curious to find out.
I think the needs of men are a lot more emotional. I think men are more emotional. I think there's a lot of ego stroking. There's a lot of like nurturing. There's a lot of like giving support, and there's a lot of like providing a safe space for him to feel comfortable, for him to express himself with you, for him to feel like a man. And I also feel like allowing a man to pay is a part of that. It's allowing him to pay for the meal and being like grateful for it and thank you baby and you do so much for me. I love this. Like I feel like that is a part of what the like interaction is between like at least a man who's enjoys being in his masculine and a woman who enjoys being in her feminine. Now, it's not to say that I never dip into my pocket for anything, because if I'm dating a guy like there might be somebody I'm dating. Like, yes, he's paying for all the dates. Most of the times, the guys that I'm dating, they enjoy paying for that. They wouldn't want me to pay. They wouldn't allow me to pay because they just don't see that as, you know, a part of their thing for them to have a woman paying for a date that they're taking out. They enjoy doing that. But like if we're on a date and you mention some like silly small thing like from your childhood or whatever, the next time you see me, I might show up with that. Or it might be like I was dating a guy one time and he like there was something in his car that was broken. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask him anything about it, but I replaced it. And I feel like even though I'm not paying for the dates, like that's something that's valuable to him, just the consideration. But to me, if a man really feels like if I'm not paying for 50% of the dates, that I'm not somehow bringing anything, then to me, that it's just not my type.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
think
I
anything
don't
is
think
wrong with
most
that
men.
either because I know successful couples that go 50-50 and they're happy. But for me, I don't like it. It's just not what I'm into.
I don't know that most men want to even be in the 50-50 thing. No, it's just not true. I think for most men, especially if you're a man who's doing fairly okay, and you don't have to be like, making
Bill
two,
Gates.
300,000 a year for that. Most men want to be providers and be able to, make their queens feel adored. It's just the way it is. However, someone like this lady over here who's making,
Too much.
the 5%
Okay.
kind of whatever you call it. I mean,
Make
you
it
know what
rain
I'm
on
saying?
these.
The facts are quiet for a second, yeah. The facts are,
the facts.
imagine you making.
Oh, facts. Oh dear, facts.
I know you guys don't like facts, but anyway.
Whoa.
I'm the one laughing.
Oh,
What
no.
does that tell you? It's not a joke.
So here's the thing. You got, again, I'll give you an example. Now, you and this person are in a relationship. This, say the lady's making $250,000, he's making 120, but by virtue of the fact that we have this predisposed dispos, um, disposition in terms of our notion being that the man has to be the one providing, so he's the one paying for everything. Meanwhile, y'all in a relationship or you're dating, whatever you want to call it, she probably earns twice what he's earning, right? So the thing is now it becomes, even though he likes to pay for everything, it now becomes a thing of economics, right? As we all know.
Pause. Pause. Do you get into economics during the dating phase? Because I feel
That's
like
what I'm saying. How do you even
You
know
don't
that?
necessarily get into economics in the dating phase.
Because I don't tell nobody when I'm dating. I don't tell them how much money I'm making.
After a while,
how do you know how much money she's making? Why are you watching her pockets? Why does it even matter?
No, but here's the thing: we're talking about multiple dates. You now are dating. We're far along from the first, second date. We now
multiple dates. You've been on 10 or more dates.
Being on dates, you guys are skin to skin. All whatever that happens with dating is now elevated to that next stage. So you're now in a sort of mini relationship, whatever you want to call it. In that case where you're still dating, I think there is an argument to be made that, okay, if she wants to,
how do you navigate that? How do you navigate when you're dating someone that you cough want them to pick up the chick? How do you do that? Like, I've never done that.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is
I set the precedent. If I ask them out, I make sure I walk with my pocketbook because I know I'm paying, or in my head I'm paying, until they step forward and say, "Oh no, babe, it's okay, I got it," right? Which has been the case with most men. Most men put out their hand and say, "Oh no, I got it" during the dating phase, regardless of how long we've been dating. That's been my experience.
But once you guys have moved past that dating
so
phase,
now we move on to the third phase. Relationship.
You're in that little relationship.
We're not in the relationship yet. We in the dating still.
Oh, it's the dating. Oh, in that dating phase, then I still feel the man should continue to pay in that dating phase.
He gonna try, and that's been my experience. He's gonna try to pay.
I think the man should still continue to pay for that. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Then when
I feel like I hear where you're going with the relationship thing, and we're all in agreement about the dating phase, so we can move on to the relationship. So but I also feel like
everybody's saying that the men will pay during the dating phase.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We've all agreed to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
even if I try, it has never been successful. So what's the point? Let them pay.
But would you want to? Like,
I don't care.
She doesn't care. You see, what works for you may not work for her.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. I think to me, I think I like to feel like a girl. And I think if I ever feel like I'm in a masculine role in a relationship, it feels like I'm losing attraction to the person, almost. Like if I don't feel like myself, I don't know. To me, it's just like not attractive.
Okay, I can dig that.
I want to feel like the girl. I want to feel like he's the man and he wants to take care of me, and I'm like the nurturing woman, and I'm like.
That's something that's specific to you and how you identify yourself in a relationship. I do not identify myself in a relationship.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. And that's probably the context that's going to differentiate our opinions overall.
Let me ask you this question then. So, based on that perspective, I get it. The man's got to make that initial initiative in terms of
right. So he got to ask her out on a proper date. Let me ask you this: continue to pay for the dates.
What's your thoughts on women? No matter how pretty you are, seeing a guy that they like somewhere and actually going over to speak to him and saying, "Hey, do you have a girlfriend?" The same way we can
Approach women.
approach women. Because the thing is, I'm sure that you guys are losing out so many opportunities where there's a nice guy in the corner over there, and he's probably thinking, like maybe the way I think is like, oh, she doesn't want to be bothered,
To
and
me,
just
so to answer the question, to me, like, so first level is that I am attracted to a little bit more aggressive men in general.
Right.
However, if I were ever in a situation where I felt like a guy I was attracted to was timid about approaching, which I don't know that I would be attracted to him if I felt like he was timid, but
Right.
I would create an opening. I would try to create an opening for him to feel comfortable to do that, but I don't know necessarily that I would go over and like try to like. So
So that's funny. So that's funny that you say that because I also am that way. I will never approach a man, right?
yeah.
But I will stay in the corner and I'll smile like this, like yeah,
And
I'll
maybe
smile like this,
even
and the
like
body language and the smiling
that body
and
language would have told you.
no,
maybe even so
I'm
like
being
this.
dramatic.
I would have looked across and like, oh yeah, she got some mental problems.
Okay, so this happened to me one time, right? I
Here's
was
the story.
on a flight. There was a guy on the flight. I could see he wanted to talk to me. He kept looking at me. I thought he was very handsome. Afterwards, he like he stopped me like as after we got off the flight. He asked me something really dumb, like that it was obvious that he was just trying
Like,
to
is this
say
how we get off the plane?
something.
That's how we're all exiting here. This is
Yeah. Hold on, let me
this is
turn
how
this.
we get off the plane, sir. This is how everyone has gotten off before us, and the ones behind us will also continue to get off this way.
Did he
Right.
get there?
It was something really stupid like that where I was like, okay, he's obviously just trying to talk to you.
He's shy.
Right. So what I did is I instead of just answering the question and moving on, I engaged the conversation.
Right.
I kept the opening. I made myself available like energetically for him to talk to, but I lingered, but I did not close. I did not ask him for
Gotcha.
his number. I did not ask him for his,
Right.
but I gave him the opportunity to do
Yeah,
that. So
he should have.
my car was coming, my Uber was coming to get me, and I was like indicating to him, "Hey, my
Hey,
car's
my
about to
car's
pull up."
coming. The window's closing. It's
Yeah,
You could have just, but you could have just made it easy. Listen, hold up. You could have just said, "Hey, do you want to take my number? We can
No.
carry on this
no,
conversation."
I didn't. But
No.
he did ask me, and
That
if
could have
he
been your
didn't,
husband
then
right
I
there.
would have just been like, "Okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
I
have,
did what I
you
could
have to act
do."
hungry, my man. You gotta act
No,
like
no,
you
no,
trying to
no,
eat.
no, no. Listen, first of all, you don't know if the man was being polite, just trying to warm you
Well,
up.
my Uber coming, so chop chop.
Maybe he was just being polite, and that's the thing. I didn't want to assume either. He could have been a married man. He
Right.
could have been. He could have just been stupid when he was asking me the stupid question.
Right.
So I don't know what he wants.
You ask stupid
Like
questions, you get stupid results.
he maybe just want to practice his English. I don't
Right.
know.
Right. You don't know. You don't know.
Oh,
So
wow.
to me, it's like I'm giving you the opportunity, but if you don't take it, I can respect that.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. But I'm not gonna go and be like, here, sir. Here's my number and
Yeah,
my
no,
social,
I'm
and this
not
is
doing
where I
that.
live.
Because if I have to do all that,
Yeah.
you're probably gonna text me and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's this guy who didn't ask me for my
Ick.
number.
Ick.
You.
Ick.
Yeah, ick immediately, ick. So yeah, no.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I will pave the way, but I will say nothing. I feel
Yeah,
like there's in that regard, I'm traditional. So you gotta do the work. But we've gotten so derailed here, guys. The 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 third phase of this whole dating debacle is that you've transitioned now to being in a relationship.
in a
That
relationship.
right? I think that this is where things are probably going to diverge for all of us because I feel like Janera is gonna argue the point, and you can correct me if I'm
You
wrong.
already know. You
I
already
already know what your view is gonna be on this. You're like, I've set the pretext for what I expect when we're in a relationship by what I've been doing when we're dating. And so you're going to expect that to continue into the relationship. He's going to continue to pay for stuff. And for me, now that we're dating and we've moved on to being in a relationship, I think I know more about your finances than I did when we were dating. That's one assumption in this whole paradigm. And so now I feel like everybody's going to be, pitching in based on their own financial burdens, right? So if you over here barely clearing $100,000, I'm not gonna be expecting you to pay for every single meal, right? I just feel like that would be mean spirited if I did that, because then I know I'm sitting over here on a chunk of change that could adequately provide all the meals, So I feel like it has to be. I feel like people have to kind of act like you're playing on a team now, and not that you're trying to court me to get me to join the team. I have now joined the team, so let's start acting like team players.
So to me, we're not on the team until we're married.
Okay.
We're not on the team because you haven't chosen me.
Okay.
You can walk away anytime. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. But I will say, for Toni, I have a question for you. Wouldn't that be, huh?
I said I have an answer. Fire away.
Is that not emasculating at all? The idea that you cannot provide on your own, that you need help from a woman to pay for stuff?
That's interesting. Everybody has. I think for me, just because I still hold those traditional views, growing up and what I saw my dad do, we provide, we take care of everything. I don't know in reality now, especially with the modern dating thing, men are getting money, women are getting money, probably both earning the same amount of money. The question is when you look at all the other races, those old values have kind of been done away with, and now it's become a team thing. You guys are together. It's almost like you're not even looking at watching each other's pocket. You grab it, I grab it. It doesn't even really matter. It's just that now you're a team. You're playing on the same side. I don't know that necessarily in the wider context, people are still looking at those old values, like what I was raised with. Um, do I believe that men should have the old ways of doing things, the traditional value? Yeah, I still believe in that concept. But you have to go with the times. Times have changed, and the dynamics of relationship has also changed. You have to try and either reinvent the wheel, go with what works for you. If you are still stuck in that old
But
ways,
Oh,
yeah,
looks like she's gone.
and I don't know what's going on. It's probably run out of time.
Mm-hmm. But 42 minutes though, that's an unusual cutoff. I'm just gonna leave it running. See if he rejoins it.
You waiting for it to get back on?
Mm-hmm. That's my hope.
oh man.
Hey, what happened?
Wait, I don't know. Somebody was calling me.
Oh yeah, so whenever they call, it chips out.
But I can't go on airplane mode because I need the internet to do this.
That's the same thing that happened to me. We're just
Okay.
trialing this platform, so
Sorry,
we'll
guys.
No.
Yeah, I was just saying, okay, so the way I understand this is there is modernity and what's happening in modernity, which is all to me socialization, right?
Right.
But there's also a part of us that is like evolutionary. There's a part of us that's like already there from the time we're born, that's like not something we can condition ourselves out of.
Okay.
And I feel like a part of that, and you can tell me from your personal experience because I'm not a man, I feel like a part of that is like what makes you feel like a man and what makes you feel like a woman.
Okay.
We all hold on to things that are not necessarily modern, but makes us feel a certain way. So, for example, like, and this can be different for different people, but for a woman, maybe like she feels more of a woman when she's like
Cooking. I don't know.
cooking, for example, right?
I don't think that's what you wanted to say,
And
but
it's not a good example.
yeah,
It's
Okay.
that's
not
not
a
what
good example because that's
I
not
think
one of
what she
the
was
like.
trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, is she feels more like a woman when she is provided for and she's, you know, perhaps.
Well, maybe I was giving an example, but I really am getting at like a man feeling more like a man when he is taking care of
Okay.
his family and his woman and providing.
Right.
Yeah, that makes us. I don't know any man who doesn't feel that sense of it makes you feel more of a man. If you take the M out of which is the money out of the man, which is the M, he turns into an and. It's facts. Um, I think that definitely a man's ability to be able to provide for his woman makes him feel like a
So
man.
I think
But
what Janelle is
let me finish.
pointing at
Let me
is
finish my
how
statement
does
first.
that traditional perspective stand at odds with modernism?
Yeah, well, this is what I was just
Yeah.
coming. I was coming to, if you let me, is the problem now becomes is okay if I'm able to provide, right, in this modern context. Yes, that's part of it, that it makes me feel like a man. But the other aspect of it is more than that. The person who I am trying to provide for, do they value me? Do they respect me? I think that's the biggest thing that men tend
But
to.
do they have to pay for stuff for you to feel that way?
I don't know if they have to just do they have to always continue to pick up the tab and stuff like that to feel that makes them a man. I don't know if that's true anymore. I will say though that um, in the case of not being able to provide at all, that then it becomes an issue for a man.
So they have to be able to provide
Whereas,
something.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, because a woman doesn't necessarily need to be able to provide zero. She can come with a box of Kentucky Fried Chicken and you're golden as long as you're beautiful. You take care of yourself. You take pride in your femininity. She probably can get everything that she wants. A guy can come who's a billionaire and marry a woman who hasn't got a nickel to her name. You look at Tiger Woods. She married his babysitter. You know, Billionaires have married bottle service women or even prostitutes. We say
Yeah, but remember, they're all beautiful. None of them are ugly, and none of them are.
that's the point. This is
So
exactly the point.
there is something of value there to those
Yeah.
men.
So that's the thing. Is what's your value proposition in the marketplace? Are you that beautiful that you can take whatever you want? That's what we're talking about. So if you average, perhaps not meet a certain threshold, then
Then you have to come with some money.
you have to not necessarily come with. You're stupid. You are silly. Not necessarily come with money because your money, no matter how much. Let me tell you something. For the most part, no matter how much money a woman has,
You
it
know,
don't.
come with some money.
It don't. I wouldn't talk to a chick just because she has money. No, it wouldn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? Because mostly, for the most part, most women, are always of the perception that it's the man's duty to step in that role, regardless of whether they have money or not. That's just facts. So we don't think that way. A man like me, I could date. I've dated a woman who was fresh out of college. She's living with her mom, didn't have a nickel to her name, didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out from. And we good. I mean, we would love you. We would love you unconditionally. But for women, there's conditions attached to it. And I'm sure
That's
you
not true. There are conditions attached to it. Because if you were not attracted to her, you wouldn't be there. That's your condition.
Right. She has to be
wait,
attractive.
hold on a second.
Yeah.
What if
She
you
has to be
found this
attractive.
girl, right? You found this young girl, and
Whether
she's
she has
pretty,
money,
but she don't have no money, right? And you take her into your home. Your condition is that she must maintain pretty. If she start gaining weight and she not combing her hair and she not
If
putting
she
on no
smells
makeup,
bad, if
or she
she's
says
not
smell
having the
bad,
energy you.
if she had money
you
too,
kicked her out. You just kicked
if she
her out.
had money too, she still get kicked out too. It doesn't matter. Your
Exactly.
money,
That
And that's
means that
your
your
the
money.
money is not the condition.
Sorry?
It's the beauty and the femininity that's the condition.
The
absolutely.
biggest
So
thing that we
it's still an
see
exchange.
men.
It's still a
Okay,
transaction.
So here's the thing,
You
man.
have the money, and she has the beauty and the femininity. And if she doesn't have that, you wouldn't want
Don't
her.
want her. Yeah.
But the thing is what it boils down to, right? Without even kind of confusing the issue, is yes, men are visual creatures.
No.
We are. We don't discriminate whether you got money or lack thereof. If you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you're in
Just
shape,
like
you're in
women
shape.
don't discriminate if you're rich. A
Right.
lot of them, not all of
Who?
them.
Who? Sorry, say that again.
I said in the same way that women don't discriminate if you're rich.
Oh yeah, if you have
For the
money,
most part,
you
not
see, if
entirely,
you
but for
have
the most
money,
part.
most women, and I'm
This
not
is
saying
just
all,
hey,
you
so this
can.
is just our evolution, right? Evolutionarily, women bore children in order for you to be able to successfully carry a pregnancy to term and and to be able to raise a family. You need to be provided for, because you can't be pregnant and defend the tribe and all that stuff. So you needed a man who could provide, and men wanted women who could carry on their genes, because their goal is to carry on their genes. And so you wanted the woman who was the most beautiful, who was the most feminine, which would indicate that she's nurturing. And
Yeah.
so she could carry a pregnancy to full term, and therefore your seed could be spread and you could carry on your genetics. That's evolutionary. So that's
Okay.
now
Somebody called her again.
Yep.
Somebody called her.
She's in Miami, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a tough place to date.
Yeah, she's still living in Tampa. It's worse in Tampa.
I know some girls who live over there. Remember one girl called Brandy Short. This girl, yeah, she even prettier than Beyonce. She used to live here, but she just used to meet.
Hey, friend, you come back? Those people keep calling you, huh? You popular, friend. But
stressing
yeah,
me out. I'm sweating over here.
yeah, friend, don't sweat. No. It's I get the point you're making, where there's a evolutionary advantage to both what we're seeing with men and what we're seeing with women, where women gravitate towards what is considered, popular or prosperity, or in this case money, and men gravitate to what's pretty because that's going to give them heritability. So I get that. um so I feel like Tony may have been knocking women for, chasing the bag, but at the same time you were unwilling to admit that men were just chasing the pretty. And it's the same, and it's the
I know.
same
It's
pursuit.
it's the
And
same
it's the
basis.
exact same pursuit. It's the same evolution.
I've never denied that.
Yeah.
I mean, men are visual. We are visual creatures. We do like women who operate in that.
So then
pretty-
you're advocating for unfairness, because you're still chasing the pretty.
I
You're
didn't
still
say that.
chasing the pretty, but you're discriminating against women who are still chasing the bad. You're still going on your traditional values and then asking women to abandon theirs.
Right.
I didn't say that, but I mean,
You saw what she
You
did?
didn't say it, I said
look,
it.
look, look at it like this, right? Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Would you see? I've never heard of a scenario where you had a rich woman, especially black women anyway. I can't speak for them white folks, but a rich black woman will pick up a guy who's not really doing okay for himself, and you know what I mean? He has nothing that he can bring to the table other than just his good looks. It's very rare. I've never
I
seen.
dated one. So let me chime in here. Let me
Yeah,
speak.
that's not true. You
That's
never
not
seen a
true.
Tyler Perry movie? Like, come
Listen,
on,
it's
that
like
happens
all
all
over
the
the
time.
place.
Tyler Perry's a
Especially
liar.
Black women been picking up garbage for
Forget
years.
Tyler Perry. Have you ever listened to Cat
We've been
Williams?
picking up garbage for years, honey. I don't know what you
Come
talking
on
about.
now.
Come on now. That's all. That's our
Take that
MO.
narrative and throw it out the window. That one
Yeah,
ain't.
with the baby and the bathwater. My friend, I can't buy that one. I feel like
Here's the problem.
I've been victim to that so many times, and you know the reason
Yeah.
why it won't work out? because at the end of the day, the male ego is contingent upon his capability to provide, and if he's unable to provide, he will never have any peace or rest within a
And that
relationship.
is my thing. That is my thing, because I've also done that. I've also dated people who didn't make as much money as me. I've also dated people who like looked at me like I was like above them,
Right.
and it never works.
It never works.
It never works. And that's why now I take the perspective of no, like it's just if you can't feel like a man with me, I can't do anything about that.
Right.
Would you date potentials?
No.
Potential what?
No,
A potential what?
no.
A millionaire who's a potential billionaire?
Once you hit 30, they have to come fully potential. We're not doing no more.
No, question. Would you
partially
date a woman
potential.
who is potentially beautiful and feminine?
Right. Would you date someone potentially beautiful and feminine?
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly. I don't even know what that means either.
I really don't.
She could be pretty if you squint down one of your eye like this.
Wow. But where does that really get us now? Because within our black community, women are outpacing men by freaking almost 2-1 now. You guys are
in terms of numbers or in terms of ability to earn?
Ability to earn numbers. You guys have far more well educated than men.
We own more homes. We own more real estate.
Whitey.
So you guys are gonna be lonely. You know.
Honey, there's nothing. First of all, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
Women are out here living their best lives.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, hey,
they are not sad. They are not sad.
They are not sad.
They are traveling the world, eating good meals, starting businesses, living life. They are happy. It's the men that are committing suicide.
The reason why we commit so much suicide is because you guys stress us out.
No, it's because you see what you could have, but you cannot because you are poor.
That's not true. That's not true. You are the wild. Huh? You see, this is it. You don't want to.
Can you afford it, baby?
Oh my God. I feel sorry for men.
I do. I feel sorry for men too, honestly.
I feel sorry for them.
I love men and I feel it for them. Sure. I really feel it for men. But I think, you know what? Let me tell you something. I am a woman in her 30s. And these 22, 23, 24-year-olds, y'all still there? Y'all frozen now. Somebody's calling you. I think you guys can still hear me. But these young guys, they're waking up. They know. They know what's up. So it's only the older ones that are gonna have a hard time, because the young ones, they're coming different. Oh, guys, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if my friends are coming back. We're almost at the hour mark anyway, so this might be a good time to end. It's been a really great conversation. Yeah, they're now disconnected. It's been a really good conversation. This was fun. These lives are not meant to be anything but entertainment. We're really just talking and just like hanging out together. These are conversations I would probably have with my friends anyway. So having them here just allows other people to join in and to enjoy our laughter and our interactions. So I'm going to go ahead and end the live now. Thank you for whoever happens to see this again later. Oh, she just texted me. She said their phone died. But yeah, like, let me know if you enjoy this, if there's specific topics you want us to talk about. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Now I have to learn how to end a live. I don't know how to end it. Ooh, I don't know how to end it. Let's see here.